DSTV. And of course, despite what is happening, these companies were urged to actually write some sort of, they call it a solvency, to show reasons why they should actually be added back on that list, of the registered companies. 186,000 is quite a huge number of these companies which are being put off that. Now, according to the Uganda Registration Services Bureau public notice that is posted on their Twitter social media platform, that is dated on Monday, 14th, that was yesterday actually, the companies had earlier been warned but failed to file these returns, So the Section 134 of the Companies Act 1, that is of 2021, notice is hereby given that 186,000 companies have been struck off. Now, this was a statement that was written, on their Twitter, or what the X platform account, where they actually declared this officially. Well, that is it for our morning call, and now let's switch our eyes and take a look at what's making headlines into the press. Yes, I have the New Vision and the Daily Monitor with me here, and they're quite, I can see lots of stories in here. Of course, head teachers summoned for fresh training. That is something happening in there. And Teso welcomes Mohozi. Yes, find out that. It's on the top page. And the purchase of government vehicles has been halted a little bit. It's been put on hold. Of course, there are quite reasons why that is being done. And then I can see with the Uganda Airlines here, flights to Nigeria start next month. Well, some good news in there. And the cleric comments government stance on World Bank aid cut rather. And and UNRWA's 15 years of investment. You can still find that out when you get yourself a copy. That is of the New Vision. And of course, taking a look at the Daily Monitor, Byarugaba asks court to save his NSSF job. Yes, and we see a report here that Mr. Byarugaba suggests that the decision by the minister not to endorse his reappointment was malicious, given her known bias against him. And it says by press time, that was last evening, the court had not yet invited either, that is Mr. Mongi, all the general attorney to file their response following the hearing date, of course, to be fixed as a result of that. And the new rules set for online money lending, so you can find out that what does it entail. And still back to 186,000 companies stuck off the register, something that we just reviewed in our morning call. And of course, amongst homecoming, show of power or wealth? That's a question in there that has been put out there. But of course, let me kickstart off with the New Vision back as we have the details of this matter. South Korea committed to stronger trade ties with Uganda. That's according to the ambassador. The South Korean envoy Park Sung has expressed that is his country's commitment to boost trade and cooperation and investment with Uganda ambassador. Now, of course, we see that PAC has equally emphasized the importance that is of establishing a legal case, as we can see here. But I think it's going to be beneficial, very beneficial to those that are to those responsible stakeholders that are going to take on that. Now, World Bank sets aside 800 billion Ugandan shillings for women entrepreneurs. Sets that aside, and he teaches someone for compulsory, that is refresher training. You find out that. And Karamoja iron sheet seized in Entebbe house. Very interesting in here. You will find out that when you get yourself a copy. Okay. And President Museveni, that woos Ugandans in diaspora on local investments. Of course, urging them on, investing back into Uganda. And of course, a speaker among vows to campaign for the members of parliament. You find that out still. when you grab yourself a copy of the New Vision and find out further matters that return. And coming in down here, I see something quite very sad as Mwende Kapo Mada, a member of parliament, district boss summoned, and 11 on the run cases in here. You know, that is something not really good. Mada capital, you see that? Okay. Now, all public servants still here, we see must be digital literate. That is according, that is to the government. And actually come this week on Thursday, there is something that is coming on that is going to be involving, it's going to be some sort of an exhibition, you know, for the different digital platforms that are going to be showcasing. And there is the electronic documentation, e-government procurement, quite so many. And so when I say this about public servants being digital literate, well, it is government that is really stating that out so hard. And now ICT is contributing to about 9% of Uganda's gross domestic product. So yeah, that is something out for the people to check out. Now, Clarick hails government stance on World Bank loans. Of course, the loans which happened in, the World Bank stopping Uganda. So there are more discussions all related to that matter. And of course, Nabanja tasks Busoga leaders, of course, telling them to unite. That is the ultimate aspect in here. The unity definitely standing as one. You know, so you can find that out when you grab yourself this copy of that New Vision. Now, getting down here to the comment section, World Bank aid suspension, unfortunate. That is behind a sip of Uganda's aromatic. World Bank aid suspension, unfortunate. Yeah, how unfortunate is that? You find out that. Then here we see behind the sip of Uganda's aromatic coffee. That is, which is a profound story of smiles. Yeah, you can check that out. And Kabaka's coronation message is a wake-up call to the youth. Somebody still says in the comment section. And what's behind the Niger coup? You know, I understand quite. Yeah, lots of discussions have actually been put out in relation to that. What's behind the Niger coup? But you'll find that out when you grab yourself that copy. And now banks have embraced digitalization, and according to what I'm saying here. And yes, still in the comment laters by Michael Atingigo, the deputy governor for the Bank of Uganda. Yes, I believe they're really doing whatever it takes to see. And of course, there is something here to do with India's journey of independence. You'll find that further, of course, being colonized by Britain, and the fact that Uganda and India will share quite lots of aspects when it comes to, investments. People come in here for that. So some sort of a way, it's very important to find out. India at 77 years, celebrating that. Now, of course, still within the India at 77, there is something here which is quite very interesting, which says that emulate Indians in paying taxes. As of course, we see Indians born as Ugandans living in Uganda, of course, they join to celebrate their 77th Independence Day. Of course, the business community in Uganda has been asked to pay their taxes to support Uganda's economy. So you can see that, how that is happening. Then, of course, something about UNRWA's 15 years of progressive investment. That can also, you can check that out. And yeah, I believe it will have quite some very insightful aspects, for the time. They have been operating, and what next for the coming years when it comes to infrastructure development, most especially roads. Now, of course, still we see the journey to oil roads still at UNRWA 15, and oil roads to be ready. And that is 2025. That is 3 years from now. So You can still find that out when you grab yourself this copy. It will give you the rightful insights. It's quite a long, actually. Lots of UNRWA's free tree planting project to curb bad air circulation. I mean, there are quite lots of aspects to really take a review under this, and we see the ferry sector records exponential growth as a result of that, and 5 ferry projects are still underway, still under UNRWA. It's quite a huge section, almost a full, some sort of a pamphlet about those matters. Oil and gas and infrastructure still. How long will it take to solve Kampala's traffic jam? Of course, there is a question in here. Yeah, so all that as we sum up the new vision. And now let's head to the Daily Monitor, and we take a look at the details away from the quick headlines that we just reviewed. Now there is something that happened yesterday. Luaga Hospital, of course, being the first in Uganda to establish a transplanting section, so Luaga Hospital ready for organ transplants. That is with effect from this year. I see something about it will cost about 60 million Ugandan shillings for that to be done. That is the estimated cost of a kidney transplant abroad. So how is it? The ultimate question is that how much is it going to be like when you're doing it from Uganda here at Lubaga Hospital? Yeah, we can find that out. That was something very innovative. Now government sets new rules for online money lending. Yeah, quite lots of online adventures have actually come out, and some of you, as I'm speaking right now, you've actually experienced some of these personnels. Okay. Now, as we proceed, government moots new policy to address school fires. Yeah, of course, there's student safety in there, and the civil society organizations still ask government to cut public spending. Of course, it was one of the remedies that were being put across as to fuel the World Bank halting the loans to Uganda, cutting expenditure. Now, police recover over 200 stolen opium iron sheets. Yeah, I think this would be a very catchy item, something which has been disappearing from the press and resurfaces in a very amazing aspect. And Makerere students decree over car vandalism. Okay, and somebody here says in the national news that exclude the poor from health insurance contributions. This is according to experts that are actually coming up with this ideology of excluding the poor from health insurance contributions. Why is that? You'll find that out when you grab yourself the copy. And the government to review cost of smartphones. Why are they reviewing the smartphones, and what are they up to as a result of that? When you grab yourself a copy, you'll find that out more. Okay, and now we still see here no money for lower LC officials, still says government. As a result of that, well, that is it for now. Now, as we switch our eyes to take a look at what's happening into the traffic, Bombo Road in there. So definitely that means we are at Wandegea traffic lights junction. Trying to observe the traffic atmosphere in there. Okay, now of course, as always, we put our eyes to the Makerere route, which as I speak right now it seems to be mildly congested. There are quite a huge number of sets of traffic lights in there, and yeah, if you're not patient enough, you may find yourself having to actually grab another, a third party, some sort of having some, getting a border probably. That's what I'm trying to mean. Yeah. So a huge setting there, quite a number of borders as we can see, and that is the situation as you can see. Now the taxis we're seeing, they're coming in from Bombo Road, heading to the different destinations to execute the different aspects. Yeah, Bombo Road, and now talking about people that from coming in from Gaza areas, Chevando, you can really kind of connect to that and head to other destinations. Yeah, it seems a busy morning around here, but also we can also attribute this to the market still in that nearby place, which also can tell us, because people heading in there, and most especially markets are much more busy in the morning hours. Reason being, there different people, most especially the restaurant owners, to come there buy, and because commodities seem to be cheap at that time, so that a little bit causes some congestion as a result of that. Now, these border borders we are seeing in probably majority of them have been coming in from the Mulago route, Kamocha side, and they're coming this, heading to city center. And actually, I think, according to the look of things, some could be heading to Makerere Road, Hill, and proceeding to other different destinations. Oh my goodness, I can see a huge fleet of jams. So that can explain to you that the Mulago roundabout must be really congested as we speak. So if you're coming in from Mulago, you're coming in from Kamocha, you're likely to face some sort of resistance in some sort of a way when it comes to reaching your destination in the required time. Yes, traffic officers definitely have not yet seen any, but I believe they're already there to put this into consideration. And a few pedestrians actually are crossing by to head to other destinations still. Yeah, so if you're coming in from Mulago, you can actually tell the best alternative to head to the city center or any other given destination. And also remember, some of the vehicles that are passing this route are coming in from Ntinda. Majority of them actually, Ntinda Bokoto, they're connecting in here. The reason as why they're not heading to Nakawa is because of the construction of the road, the Port Bell Nakawa road, which is causing some sorts of blockages along the way. Vehicles can be stopped for quite some time, so that's not the best option. So most of the vehicles that probably were linking city center through Nakawa road, they're now opting for this other side to make sure they can actually reach the destinations in time. Well, that is it for the traffic updates this morning. It's exactly 25 minutes past 7. And that is the situation like there at the Wandagare traffic lights. Well, at this point in time, Smart Means Business is going to take a short break. And when we return, we shall be taking a look at what's happening to the East African scene and the international community. Stick around.
Smart 24, driving business.
Blue magic is my joy. Blue magic,
Talaba kumabala atukuza nonyirirawo kirako enyange tayisa bubi fabriki kyonna kyekiri kigwa lwa blue magic is my choice. Ono blue magic ye wange and blue magic is my choice. Hey, ono blue magic ye wange.
Say goodbye to paperwork and travel costs. Now every MTN customer can register to invest in securities anytime and anywhere with Zabu in a few simple steps. Step 1. Dial *292 hash. Step 2. Select option 1. Register with Zabu. Step 3. Enter your full names. Step 4. Enter your national identification number. Step 5. Enter your national identification card number. In 24 hours,